Well, hello there, how are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got a new collective reading. I'm very much looking forward for this one. It's gonna be an exciting one. The idea is that as I'm currently recording this video, we are in November 2024, and Pluto has gone retrograde from Aquarius. We just stepped in the Aquarius age and went back into the sign of Capricorn because currently Pluto in astrology is retrograde. So we're having like this little bit of a Pluto going back to the last age that we've just been leaving, just before going fully into the age of Aquarius, which is the age of authenticity, the age of uniqueness, the age of showing yourself for who you are. And basically, the fact that it's going retrograde in Capricorn makes it so that for the last time in 300 years, we're going to be dealing with the cycles because of the immensely large revolution of Pluto around the sun. Pluto changes sign like, I don't know, every 15 years, something like that, or more. I mean, it takes a long time for Pluto to change sign. That's why we say each time there is a change in the sign of Pluto, we're talking about a change of an age, really. And until the 19th of November, we're going to be retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. Past that point, we're done. These things that we've been experiencing these last 15, 20 years, I don't know how much really, they're done, they're dealt with. And that means that there's a lot being brought up. Basically, we have a condensed version of the energies that we've been experiencing for the last decade and more, condensed in a very short amount of time. That's why it's a little intense for some. This period may feel a little intense. That's what this reading is going to be about, since that's like the main energy that we're dealing with, and also because I feel like there's a lot to talk about. Obviously, as always, if you are watching this video farther in the future, well, it will likely be that Pluto has already shifted once and for all in the sign of Aquarius, in which case the astrological momentum and reality that I'm describing may not be the one that you're currently experiencing. Yet, if you found this video, there will still be messages for you in there. I find that there are no such thing as coincidences, so obviously I'm going to be focusing on what's currently going on. As always, these messages are timeless. So yeah, if I'm very curious to see what we'll be discussing, because I feel like there's a lot of things to be discussed, but I feel a lot of things, so that's going to be fun. If that's something you are curious and interested in, make yourself at home, make yourself comfortable, and we're gonna jump right in. As always, before we get to it, just a reminder that if you enjoy this content, please like it and subscribe so you don't miss out when I post new videos, and it also supports me tremendously. That being said, let's get into it. Okay, I have no plan for what the reading is going to be like today, except for when I was shuffling, I felt inspired to take a few cards out straight off the bat, so I'm going to just take them as our general energy, and we're gonna vibe off of that. We're gonna see what we got. And we have, I'm gonna show you every card individually because the lighting is a little off now that the sun goes down much faster. So we got the Seeker card, as well as a bunch of cards here. The Hermit, the Hermit, the World, and the Six of Wands. Okay. It kind of makes sense for what's going on with Pluto. There are other planets which are currently going retrograde, but it's like the bulk of the energy we're experiencing is felt through this retrograde of Pluto, doing a little bit of a of a hijink in the previous sign that it used to be in. And straight off the bat, what we do, we have a lot of Pluto-related energies. I'm not gonna lie. Pluto's energy mostly deals with transformation, death, and rebirth, which is a very, very powerful energy of ascension, a very powerful energy of growth and expansion, stepping into these higher levels of consciousness, this higher, better version of yourself. But that obviously comes with the very strong transformative energy of Pluto that is that we're just gonna burn everything which is in the way. If Pluto was an animal, it would be a phoenix, really. It's like you want to be rebirthed, you want to become this new version of yourself. Sure, let's burn the hell out of you down. That's a little how Pluto runs the show. So there is, every time that you feel like strong Pluto energies, we're generally dealing with death related energies, death in this metaphysical sense, that is the ending of past cycles, the letting go of old version of ourselves, letting go of beliefs, letting go of old emotions, letting everything go, really. And that's what Pluto is about, and that's very much what we're currently dealing with. Let me drink a little. What do we have? It really feels like a quest. As Pluto is in retrograde just before the beginning of 2025, there is a lot being wrapped up. Especially that this month in numerology is a 9 month, which is the number of wrapping things up, the number of endings, the number of just tabula rasa, as in cleaning the space, making your, just resetting, so as to embark onto the next number, which is the number 1 in numerology, which is the beginning of all. So there's a big coincidence in this month of November, really. And we have the Seeker to start things off, which is quite obvious for me that it's a quest of an internal quest. A lot of us may have been feeling some strong emotions coming up to the surface, and a lot of it deals with what we've been carrying with us. Like old identities, old beliefs, old thoughts, old ways of being, to include it all, really. And the Seeker is very much like one being on the quest of self-discovery because of the fact that all of these emotions are coming up to the surface. The more you clear out the clutter, the more you clear out what you've been carrying, all of these illusions, the more the truth of that which you are appears clearly. And that's very much what's going on right here. The Seeker is like, we're clearing out the old, but it's also revealing that which was lying underneath, things that we may not have even imagined in a million years, I'm hearing. It's like a lot of us will be very surprised by what we find out through this process. But it's very much, the process of finding oneself, reconnecting with one's true nature through the process of clearing the clutter, which has layered itself on top. The fact we got so many teeth as well, teeth we associate with wisdom, but also strength. And here I just feel like self-worth. Understanding that there is nothing to fix about you for some reason. That's the message. That there is a lot of emotions coming up, that all of these emotions are about stories that we assumed and keep on telling ourselves, which aren't true. Very valid, but not true. And in clearing all of these things out, we start seeing more clearly, more obviously how worthy we are. There's a strong thing about self-worth, and just not the idea of using positive affirmations so as to convince ourselves this way, but just seeing it, that this is just what it is. This is just how it is. There's nothing to be discussed, there's nothing to be imagined or thought. This is just a reality we're awakening to. Clearing out the dust, we get to see the color of the floor. That's very much what it is here. And the tarot cards are very interesting because they, again, quite depict this process. The Hermit is very much the process we're currently experiencing as a collective of going within, exploring that which we are, temporarily losing interest in what's going on outside of us, or using what's outside of us to better understand what's going on within, and really exploring within. As always with this card, we see like the little orb, which is attached to the necklace, which really symbolizes, like, especially in this imagery, like the fact that the treasure is within. That's very much what Pluto is about. Pluto may appear in our lives with like big transitions, physical transitions, like, oh my god, all of a sudden from one day to another I lost a job, all of a sudden from one day to another something I was very attached to ended. There can definitely be a big element of surprise with Pluto, there tend to be quite, you know, powerful moments if you don't expect them coming. And even when you do expect them coming, they can still be quite surprising. But it's always, Pluto is always primarily concerned, at least its energy, the energy that this planet has been associated with. This energy is always very concerned with your growth and your evolution. And that's why even when things, even when it feels like shit hits the fan, in the external, it's always to the service of what's going on within us. It's always what we were discussing with the Seeker card. It's like always to the service of our inner growth, of our inner exploration. It's always about what's going on within, with Pluto. And even, yet again, even if something goes in a weird and unexpected manner outside of us, it's always to the service of what's going on within. So this card kind of makes sense to me because this is very much Pluto energy. It's very much related to Pluto energy, and that's very much what we're going through right now. The two other cards are very interesting though. We got the World and the Six of Wands. The World, it's amongst many things here like the completion of a cycle. The World is always depicted with a sphere, and you know, it's like the sacred geometry of there is no ending, there is no beginning. It's just there's a closure with the cycles. It's the sense of completion, the sense of moving on, the sense of turning a page in a book, just reaching the end of a chapter so as to start a new one. It's very much this sense of closure, the sense of completion, this sense of I'm done here. There is nothing left for me here. I'm ready to move on. That's very much the energy we're dealing with here. Is like through all of these emotions that we're experiencing, which are coming up to the surface, we're closing a lot of old chapters, a lot of old energies, a lot of old cycles to our absolute best benefit. And that is leading us to a deep sense of peace, but most importantly to the ending of what once used to be the norm, what once used to be our habits, what once used to be our state of being. And the Six of Wands, I find it fun. The Six of Wands is just like success. It's the card of success. It's the card of public recognition. It's the card of pride. It's the card of loving yourself because you see how darn cool you are. It's this very happy, fuzzy energy. And I definitely see that this is very much what's going on, especially when we're talking about like realizing one's worth, one's self-worth. Yeah, I just want it to be very interesting energy, but I would say a typical Pluto energy. If I had to put in two cards, I would be choosing something like that. It's again, it's like scrubbing what's on the surface, scrubbing the muck on the surface and seeing the beauty that was hiding underneath, closing the old cycles, stepping into the new, and claiming our success, claiming our light, our abundance. So that is very, very cool, but also a very good reminder of what Pluto is about, really. Now, other cards. Let's see what else we can get from this. Spirits coming in hot today, that I can tell. I feel like actually taking these oracles first. Woohoo! Okay, I'll go with these three ones first. And we have your hard work is paying off, nothing is yet set in stone, you're good enough. Yeah, I mean, again, your hard work is paying off is definitely making me feel that a lot of us may feel like we've been going through like the ebbs and flows, and it may have been feeling quite heavy lately, to be honest. And in the collective, that's pretty much what's been going on, as in, yeah, it's been pretty heavy. There's a lot of heavy energies that have come up to the surface for the sake of being purged and felt, you know? What I'm hearing is your hard work isn't going unnoticed. Perhaps it wasn't time before for you to really like see how much you've transformed. And perhaps a lot of us still got their heads into it, and so we don't necessarily see objectively all of the work we've put in, all of the sheer distance we've covered. But there's definitely this message from Spirit, as in all of that which you have done, although it feels like it hasn't been paying off so far, trust that it has. You know, when you plant a seed, we may be expecting to see immediately a leaf, but the day you get to see the first leaf or the first stem stemming from the seed, it actually means that the roots are already very, very much in place. The roots are the things which grow first when you plant a seed and you water it. The roots first grow, settle, absorb the nutrients. That's the first thing that develops in a plant, right? But you don't see that. By the time you see the first stem, the first leaf, underground, it has grown a lot. Except we don't get to see that. And that's very much the energy here. It's like you may not see the stem, the leaf of all of the work that you've been putting in, but my God, trust Spirit that the roots have been hard at work. The roots have been growing fast, sprawling in all directions, and you've been anchoring and grounding into that which you are. It's like such a proud energy on behalf of Spirit, I feel. Yeah, it's like all of that which you've been, you may not see the results of it, but trust the fact that it has changed. And I'm hearing actually something. If you were to compare yourself to who you used to be at the beginning of this year, please take the time to notice how your state of being has changed. Please take the time to notice how a situation that at the beginning of the year used to trigger you, used to make you feel upset, used to make you react in a way that perhaps you would not prefer, today you are responding to this same situation in a completely different way. And perhaps you feel like things may not have changed a lot in your external reality, yet you may, being honest with yourself, realize that you have changed a lot. And a very good indicator is just noticing how the way you respond to life has changed. The same situations yield different results for you. You don't feel the same way. You don't respond the same way to life. And that is the true measure of change, of growth. And that is just a tiny indicator on behalf of Spirit to like bring your attention to the fact that the roots have been growing. You may not see the first leaf just yet. Trust that it's not dead, far from it. That is one message. My God, I'm realizing how much channeling's been going on so far. Woo! I like that. What else, Spirits? Nothing is yet set in stone. Very interesting card as well. Pluto is a very unexpected energy. Although the energies we're discussing are not only related to Pluto, it's just a collective thing, but Pluto is playing a big part in it. It's very unexpected, and people who know about astrology, they may feel themselves a little afraid of Pluto because it's the kind of energy that is, it's ultimately for your good, but you never know when it's going to strike, so to speak. So Pluto can easily get a bad reputation. But the thing towards where my attention is being drawn right now is the fact that Pluto is surprising in both ways. It may get you by surprise, but it's also may leave you by surprise in the sense that where it's going to leave you off. Perhaps things unexpectedly went down a path you were not expected again. Perhaps where you're going to end up is also equally as unexpectedly good. I generally feel mutable moon. Yeah, it feels like currently we may be in a bit of a we may be thinking that our future will look a certain way when in reality we gotta be open to the fact that it may not end up being that which we wished. It may probably end up being much better, but very different. Perhaps something we were not even able to imagine so far. And that's definitely something that needs to be addressed here. As in, The unexpected nature of Pluto is not here to mess you up. Yes, it may take by surprise, but it's also gonna bring, like, quote unquote positive things as well, things that you do prefer as you're growing. And I even feel like yeah, there's this energy of us being in our minds, in our heads, and navigating these moments of our lives, not seeing all the beautiful things that we're currently opening up to because we're so focused onto it right now. We're still walking, like figuring out what's the next step, that we're not necessarily like lifting our head up to see what's coming up. And I generally feel that the most beautiful things which are going to come from this situation are things that we may not be expecting at all. And so there's definitely the calling here to not be too harsh on ourselves or not be pessimistic. It's not because things didn't go the way we wanted them to go that it means that our dreams won't happen. Quite the opposite. Being honest with ourselves, we may realize that we actually didn't really know how to make it happen. We perhaps didn't really know how to make our dreams unfold. And it's taken a quite unexpected path, and some of us may feel like, oh, then it's pretty certain that it's never going to happen. Well, perhaps this is the best way it's going to happen, actually. Perhaps this is exactly what needed to happen, but this is something that we'll get to see in due time. But there's definitely this invitation to reconsider how we're looking at the situation, saying that, hey, nothing is yet set in stone. Chill out. You're not playing your life here. Even if things feel like they're going down a path that you do not prefer, doesn't mean that that's where you're going to be left at, so to speak. There's also very powerless energy for some reasons coming through here. There's the kind of energy of, I had a plan and something happened and now I feel like I'm being quote unquote forced onto a path that I don't prefer, and I feel powerless to that. Yet again, it's like, why do you think that what's currently happening is not happening in your best interest? Why are you assuming that what's happening is happening in a way that you don't prefer it? Yeah, it doesn't look the way your mind had anticipated it. That for sure, I'm going to give you that. But what tells you that what is currently happening is not the best thing that could have happened in order to catapult you towards what you desire? There's a need for reframing here. Definitely the way we look at the situation. And you're good enough. I like this card here because there's definitely a sense of healing happening through this period as heavy emotions rise and are let go of. There is a lot of healing happening, obviously. And there's a big message of realizing that you are good enough. We are letting go of things because they're no longer serving us, but the things we're letting go of are illusions. They're not truths. You're not losing anything out of letting go of these things. Of anything, you're making space for new beautiful things that you do prefer. You're making space to bring in the clarity to see all of the your amazing nature. And there's also the feeling of not being too harsh on yourself, as in, it's not because things are not going your way that it means that it's your fault. Perhaps there's this idea going on here, as in, you're doing your best. That's all that will ever be asked from you, is you doing your best. Perhaps you don't know any better. Well, if you don't know any better, guess why? It's because you don't need to. Otherwise, it wouldn't be. And definitely, yeah, the message coming again of there is nothing to fix about you. That's why sometimes some of us feel like they're going on to a lifelong journey of trying to fix themselves, and they can never manage to. Why? Because you cannot fix that which is not broken. That's why you cannot fix yourself, because you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. That which we are letting go of, these emotions and these lies, are all the ways in which we think that we gotta fix ourselves. You're not actually fixing anything. You're letting go of the belief that you need to. That's the healing currently going on. And that is a message that needed to be heard for some reason. So that's one thing. I'm wanting to bring a little bit of tarot cards. I don't know how long this video is going to be. Hopefully not too long. have these 3 cards which popped up. We're gonna go with them. Back of the deck energy, 8 of Wands. Yet again, it's a very positive card, as we had like the 6 of Wands. It's like this card is the card of good news. Yet again, it just feels like there is a lot of pessimistic energy being currently felt and transmuted. A lot of low feelings coming up to the surface for the sake of being let go of. And because we're processing it, we're not seeing all of the light that this process, this work that we're currently doing is opening the door to. As we're letting go of all these things, we're making room for so much goodness to enter our lives, and we're not seeing that. So there is also this message of, it's okay if you don't feel always good. There is nothing wrong with that. But please, if you feel yourself, if you catch yourself in a low, have the decency, I'm hearing, of being a little objective with yourself and realizing that all of that which you're currently doing is opening up space for you to receive things that you may have never received. So that is not a bad thing that you don't feel good. It's okay not to feel good. It's part of the process. And the 8 of Wands here is just saying that it is so worth it. This is something that will make itself very obvious, very clear in the future. But it's like good news, good energies, and that is just a reflection of our state of being. I'm hearing is like a lot of very lucky, very abundant, very beautiful things happening for us, and people around us going like, oh, that's just because you're lucky. It's like, no, it's your state of being. You chose to change. You chose to feel better. You chose to take care of yourself. You chose to let go of the lie. And so what? The world responds. The world responds. And so you appear as lucky is just because you are different. The world responds differently to you. And all of this good energy is just the proof of your hard work. I'm hearing it's like, but yet again, I generally feel that there is this energy of not really connecting with the optimism. So perhaps that's one thing, but it's just to say that, yeah, this is an amazing card, really a beautiful card of good news, happy encounters, opportunity, pace, abundance, and passion and excitement. So these are all things which we are currently opening up to. And these cards, they're also very beautiful. 9 of Pentacles, Page of Wands, and the Justice card. A lot of wands have appeared. So a lot of passion, a lot of excitement, definitely on the horizon. The 9 of Cups. I don't know if I called it Pentacles before. I always, for some reason, my brain just doesn't want to call Cups Cups and Pentacles Pentacles. I'm always switching them up. But anyway, the 9 of Cups is the card of emotional fulfillment, as in having everything that you desire. It's like, you know, like the god, I'm seeing this analogy in Greek mythology, Bacchus, the god of pleasure, wine, sensuality, just bodily, humanly pleasures, is very much this card. The 9 of Cups is very much like you being so content with everything that you have. It's like receiving all that you have and feeling very fulfilled within and just sleeping soundly as a result. I'm hearing it's like, yeah, for the people who are struggling to have a nice, relaxing, calm sleep at night, this is definitely changing. But this is very much what we're opening ourselves to. It's like peace of mind, fulfillment, and all that you desire. Why? Because now you have the space to hold it in. You have the space to be able to receive it because you've let go of everything that was in the way. You didn't fix anything. You've let go of the lies telling you that you were not worthy, capable of having it all. So it's a beautiful thing. The Page of Wands is like a renewal in passion, in excitement. It's just waking up in the morning feeling so excited about all the things that we're going to be doing that day. It's a lot of excitement, a lot of passion. It's very fiery energy, very inspiring, I'm hearing, but also this kind of energy of purpose I'm getting, as in waking up and feeling very content by our deep emotional experience of feeling purposeful, feeling like you are doing what you were made for. And that's a very deep experience, which also comes with a lot of excitement. And this Justice card is just like this sensation of fairness, the sensation of you've been working so hard to become a better person, which really was all about taking care of yourself, into letting go of the beliefs that said otherwise. And it's like, it's just your time to shine. There's nothing, there is nothing more to say. It's just like, it's time for you to have it all. It's like you have all of this potential, you have all of these possibilities, you are capable of handling so much more. It's time to fully step into it, and the process is being facilitated by this Pluto related energies that we're currently experiencing. So it's like, it's a very, very positive, very beautiful, deeply fulfilling, deeply joyful and exciting outcome that we're opening ourselves to. Yet Spirit is definitely stepping in, saying that all of these things, they're anyways going to be much better than anything you could possibly be, even remotely be imagining right now. And it's not because it's just too good for you to imagine it. No, it's not really for that. It's more about the fact that the amount of goodness that you're opening yourself up to is related, a consequence of a state of being that you are today not experiencing. So it's like your mind is not capable of conceptualizing these things, not because you're not capable of, obviously, but because it just doesn't suit its narrative at all. So that is very interesting. That's why it's like I'm getting quite blurry energies about that. It's like these cards are beautiful, the energies are beautiful, but they're not very precise. There are not like very precise where, oh, you're gonna have a home, you're gonna have this kind of relationship. No, it's much more of a state of being. Yes, I feel abundant, I feel fulfilled, I feel excited, I feel like my life is fair, I feel like all of my hard work is paying off. It's a feeling state, it's a state of being that I'm picking up on, because yet again the mind isn't capable just now of conceptualizing exactly what it's going to be about. And I'm hearing it's better this way, really. The point of the message is very much hang tight, be patient with yourself. And I'm hearing not patient in the sense that this process will take a long time, because it definitely will not take a long time. It's being patient with yourself in the sense of not like letting yourself off the hook, allowing yourself to understand that there is nothing to be fixed about you. It's just a matter of feeling compassionate, being compassionate with yourself and loving yourself. That's all. It's all about that, and that's it. I'm wanting to pick up, I was about to say 2 cards, and we already got 2. To see what else we can have. These have been some deep energies, and I love these cards to finish us off. Nature and the Wildling. This card, the Wildling, I love. Both of these cards have a very strong attachment to nature. And I feel that it's both literal in the sense that there is a lot of nature that will be entering our lives if it's not a kind of lifestyle that we're living. Perhaps we're living in a big city and there will be nature inviting itself into our life, or we will come to nature. There is this very literal message coming through, not for everybody, but for those for whom it's relevant, those that do desire that. But it's also your nature, as in coming back to that which you are, like with the eyes that we got like on this rock. It's very much like being aware of that which you, my god, what mess have I done with the cards? being able to see your nature, being able to see yourself for that which you actually are. And yes, Pluto has it that it's going to be surprising. Pluto has it that the things that you will discover by yourself are things that you couldn't even be imagining right now. And it's about seeing the truth of who you are, seeing the truth of how amazing and beautiful and worthy you are. So that is seeing your truth. And the wildling is definitely, to me, it's like this very raw animalistic energy, this invitation to just go wild, this invitation to show ourselves as our most raw version, which to me is just a synonym for brutal, honest authenticity, really. So yeah, a lot of just owning your beautiful, wacky, silly, authentic nature. And just freaking loving it, falling in love with it. For some reason, with the full moon in Virgo, I'm getting this energy as well of just, deeply falling in love with yourself, realizing that your most profound romantic love is the one that you have with yourself, because of you getting to actually see that which you actually are beyond all of these lies and illusions that we're currently letting go of. And once being faced with the truth, just not being able to help ourselves but to fall deeply in love with it. And that I find lovely. Okay, that was a beautiful reading. It felt a little intense, I'm not gonna lie. The energies at work are quite intense. Pluto is known for its intensity, not gonna lie. And yeah, I really wish that this message was helpful. It really feels just like a message of a general, like, hang in there, you got this, you're nearly at the end of the finish line. But yeah, a very, very deep transformational message, definitely. So yeah, I really do wish that it's beneficial, that it's helpful. If anything, I just wish that you take away the fact that you're not alone in this. this isn't just you. You're not going crazy. Everything is going perfectly well. It's normal, okay? So that is the thing. But yeah, thank you so much for having shared space with me today. I'm gonna leave you off with this one. That was a lovely reading. It was an honor to be sharing space with you. And yeah, take care, love yourself. I'm sending you all my love, all my support, and I'm going to be seeing you in my next video. Till then, take care and enjoy your day.